Kieran, you're on the management team for this year's MacRory Cup final. You have experience of both winning and losing on the day. What are your preparations like for this year's final?
Yeah, again, your preparation remains the same for all games. I think with young fellas that's important, that you replicate the same procedure and the same process. So look, it's a big game. It's probably one of their biggest games of their lives in terms of they've grew up with these particular group of players. They know each other so well. I suppose there's a massive, everybody aspires to play in the MacRory Cup final. So preparations went well. We had a tough week semi-final wise playing those 3 games on the trot. But again, that probably hopefully will stand to the boys going into this particular final. But preparations have flowed quite seamlessly, and the boys are focused now and looking forward to the 18th of March.
You topped your group in the league series, and the McCormick Cup final, which you qualified for, was played post-Christmas. Did you feel that was an advantage for yourself and the team?
Massive. I'm involved in MacRory now for a numerous number of years, and I've always felt it was too big a gap. You finished your last league game in November, didn't play then your quarter-final game to the first week in February. So the game sort of took a life of its own. It was over-talked about, over-thought about. Players were sitting with a 10-week gap, focusing on one particular game. I felt it probably had to change. A credit to Ulster schools that they took this action and decided to play the McCormick semi in January and then the final, because our lads really look forward to those games. It gave them an edge to focus on it as well, and a big game experience, and we felt they were invaluable going into the Coleman's game, that we had 2 competitive games under our belt.
The MacRory final in any school is always a big occasion. It's a big occasion for the local community and your supporting clubs. What sort of support have you got in the lead up to the final?
The sport's massive. Look, Tyrone's a proud county, and everybody wants to see football played at the highest level. They want to see everybody involved within the school doing well. We've had massive backing. Fonzie has backed from a school perspective. We're very aware as a squad that everybody within the school wants us to do well. That then has followed on throughout the community. We have a lot of business that has supported us. We have an excellent sponsor in Peter Donnelly, PD Buses, who have backed us this past numerous years. It really is. It gives the players a sense of community, that they're playing for themselves and the school and the wider community and their clubs as well. Like, these fellas have been coached. We're represented by 13 clubs in the panel, which is unique. The players are aware of the bigger picture and are much backing that they have received this past year in I suppose reaching this prestigious competition in the final come the 18th. But it takes massive effort to get there. From training 3 times a week, every Saturday morning. I've had massive help from excellent coaches. Noel Donnelly, I have brought in this year. Noel's an excellent coach with great knowledge. Des McGuinness is as good a goalkeeping coach as you'll get anywhere in the country, and Des helps in the setup, and Cathal McKenna as well. So it takes everybody, the community, all your backroom team, the effort from everybody, the whole staff, the canteen staff, the admin staff this week has been excellent. They've been put under pressure. Marie Donaghy is glad we're in the MacRory final, but she's definitely overworked it at this stage. But we really appreciate everybody that's helping us push for victory on the 18th.
Finally, Kieran, young people today are under a lot of pressure, and there's a huge emphasis on mental health. How do you think Omagh CBS can help their pupils and indeed your players to overcome any issues?
Yeah, I do think in the current climate, sport is vital. I'm very aware of being a PE teacher in the current, I suppose, with phones and different pressure they come under. To be a young person nowadays is pretty tough in terms of constant peer pressure and probably living up to expectations that are unrealistic. I think sport is vital because it releases that feel-good factor, again, a sense of importance, that you feel a part of a group and a community as well. Plus, sometimes as well, it mimics life. You receive hard knocks, you lose big games, and you realise that you just have to get on and cope, and it gives you those coping mechanisms. So I think sport, in terms of releasing that adrenaline, that feel-good factor, as well as just mimicking life in general, it's invaluable, and I would encourage every young person to get out and get active, and it does give you an extra focus and a good focus on that, and a sense of belonging to a team or whatever sport it is. But we encourage it massively here in the school, all our school teams, as well as all the other sports within it, that there's a sport for everybody and the importance of it.